for that pledge. We estimate that the United States alone would need to build 200 gigawatts of new nuclear capacity to meet our domestic net zero 2050 commitment. We're getting to work. Nuclear fission is already our largest source of clean energy. Construction was recently completed on the AP1000 Vogtle 3 unit, and we're working to complete the Vogtle Unit 4 unit. When fully operational this year, Vogtle will be the largest source of clean, firm power in the United States. U.S. companies with support of the Biden-Harris administration are also building multiple advanced and small modular reactor demonstrations to speed their commercial deployment and make them ready for worldwide deployment by the beginning of the next decade. And fusion energy shows promise for helping us reach net zero by 2050, attracting over $6 billion for 43 fusion companies globally. 25 of those are located in the United States. The U.S. is committed to leading by example as we demonstrate our success at home. Its part to address the climate crisis and help the world build safe, secure, reliable nuclear power. We also need to work together to build safe, reliable, and secure fuel supplies that reduce reliance on any one country or actor. At COP28, the United States, Japan, Canada, France, and the UK announced we would collectively mobilize at least $4.2 billion in government-led investments to enhance enrichment and conversion capacity over the next 3 years, and we've already surpassed that goal just a few months later. We're committed to working domestically and globally to keep the 1.5 degrees C within reach and to make sure that nuclear energy does its part to build a safer, cleaner, better future for our entire planet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Podesta. The goal of this gathering is to highlight the role of nuclear energy in addressing the global challenges to reduce the use of fossil fuels, enhance energy security, and boost economic development. And for a reaction to the declaration and the national statements, please welcome the Executive Director of the International Energy Agency to the stage, Dr. Fatih Birol.
Prime Minister De Croo, dear Rafael, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. Dear colleagues, at the International Energy Agency, we are a very lucky organization, fortunate organization, because we have all the energy data at our fingertips. All the projects, investments, numbers. And 2.5 years ago, in Paris, there was a major nuclear meeting 2.5 years ago. And at that meeting, I dare to say, nuclear is ready to make a comeback. And today, when I look at this data, I can assure you that nuclear is coming back, and coming back strongly. What happened in the last 2.5 years? Why it changed? Think about the colleagues who deal with nuclear issues and the others. What changed? I think 3 things changed. The mood for nuclear, making it more positive. The first one We talk about climate change here a lot, and I will come in a moment. But in my view, the main driver for pushing the nuclear at the forefront was the energy security. After 24th of February, 2 years ago, everybody in the world, in Europe and the rest of the world, understood that to generate electricity at home is very important for the national security. So many countries changed their policies accordingly and push renewables and nuclear electricity in order to enhance their energy securities. And I want to hear the congratulate, in fact, the Prime Minister De Croo. Many of you may know or not, but the Belgium nuclear policy was very different than it is today. And the Prime Minister had the courage and the determination to reverse it in line with the national interest of Belgium for today, but also for tomorrow. So the first driver was the energy security of nuclear making a comeback. Second one is, many colleagues mentioned, climate change. If we want to reach net zero without having any nuclear, it is impossible. It plays a crucial role. And the third and last point, dear colleagues, in today's economy, if you want to compete, you need stable electricity prices. So the third one is the competitiveness gave a boost to nuclear power. And ladies and gentlemen, it is looking very good for nuclear, but a success is not taken for granted. There is a job for government and job for industry. For governments, please, please, please value the job that nuclear industry, nuclear electricity generation is providing, zero emission and 24/7 electricity to your economies. Through different ways, because nuclear projects are not easy projects. They took a long time. You built a solar or wind plant, 2-3 years of time. Nuclear takes a long time. There are many construction risks. They require huge capital, the upfront capital. So there is a role for governments to play here. The job also for industry. Now, we have many, our colleagues said, the moderator, 300 representatives of the nuclear industry. To be very frank, dear representatives of the nuclear industry, in the recent years, the track record of the nuclear industry is not very bright. And I think nuclear industry needs to, now, as Madame von der Leyen said, the President, more disciplined and try to deliver on time and on budget. This is extremely important. Dear colleagues, last 2 points. Another challenge coming for the new nuclear builds around the world, which is competitiveness with the changing the dynamics of natural gas markets. The IEA, our analysis show that starting from 2025, huge amount of new LNG coming to markets, United States, Qatar and elsewhere. This will put a downward pressure on the natural gas prices. Therefore, the appetite for building the gas-fired power plants might be much stronger than today, which could make the life of nuclear power rather challenging. Dear colleagues, let me finish my words by making a suggestion to all of you. Nuclear industry, unlike the other parts of the energy industry, it is very important to show international political determination, as we are showing here today. So my suggestion is, to this meeting, organized and hosted kindly by the Prime Minister De Croo and my friend Rafael, maybe this meeting can be a regular meeting at the international level to review what we are doing, what we are achieving, and what is the next step to take stock. And International Energy Agency will be very happy to support this initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Birol. And as announced by the International Atomic Energy Agency's Director General, Mr. Grossi, in his opening remarks, the declaration has been adopted. So, once again, thank you and yes. Thank you, dear Excellencies, for your contributions to this summit. And we will now take a break and continue at approximately 1:30 p.m. with the remaining national statements. Allow me to invite you all for some refreshments, for a light lunch in the Delegates' Lounge in Event Hall 10. Thank you.